Not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would. I
Caucus?
tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of
I'm
yours?
Just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go. Set up
watching
a
right
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great.
And we had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen. And President Xi was enjoying it. And I was given the message from the generals that the ships are locked and loaded. Look, he's a showboat. He's a grandstander. The FBI has been in turmoil. You know that. I know that.
And I love all people, rich or poor. But in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? This is a long time ago. Sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life. I won't go any more than that because you're Boy Scouts, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. Should I tell you? Should I tell you? Oh, you're Boy Scouts, but you know life. You know life. North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Nice.
Morning, boys.
He's back. I don't think he's actually tweeted yet because he's sticking to Truth Social, but Elon brought Trump back to Twitter.
There have been some good memes regarding Trump resisting the temptation to tweet. I don't know if you've seen those.
Elon has been posting all of them, so
so you have seen them. My favorite was when he's talking about, I don't want a poor person in that position. Frankly, I don't want a poor person in that position.
What position was he talking about?
I'm not even sure.
I mean, there's lots of positions that's totally valid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, somebody who's terrible with money, as my personal financial advisor or something. You know
Fair
what
enough.
I mean? Like, it's yeah, in a lot of cases, I don't really care for rich people. But there are definite times those are the people I'm talking to. You know what I mean? For certain tasks, that's definitely the way to go.
For sure.
it's like when you're picking someone to be the Secretary of Agriculture. Maybe they should have some sort of an ag background. I don't know.
Nah, just administrative. It's all you need.
If it's somebody
my
that's
position.
going to be dealing with economics and money, probably doesn't need to be a poor person who's never had either of those things. Just an idea.
See, that's why we got to get Bernie Sanders in there. He's got money. He knows how to make money. Him in there will make us all rich.
All those summer houses. Yeah.
Oh, shit. What's up, Ray?
Dag for ag.
Yeah. Watch out, guys. We got ladies watching today.
Dag, if Justin is ever, let's not say president of the U.S., but dictator, and he calls you up and says, I want you for the Department of Agriculture, would you say yes?
What are my perks? Do I get diplomatic immunity? Then yes, let's do it.
There you go.
You can grant me diplomatic immunity, whatever that means. I assume it means I can't go to jail. Then yes.
If I'm the dictator, I can grant whatever I want.
Diplomatic immunity. I don't know. I mean, look, some people give companies like in Germany in like the 30s or 40s a lot of flack for making products for the the military escapades, so to speak. But did they really have much of a choice? In that circumstance, if Hitler knocks on the door and says, "Hey, you're not making shoes anymore, you're making tank treads," do you really have a choice?
Very, very true.
So
It might be cool to make tank treads. Let's be honest.
IBM doesn't get a pass. They play a little bigger role, but the tank tread guy, Yeah, maybe
He's just trying to keep it. He's just trying to keep his shop open.
Yeah, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
At least they weren't telling him to wear a mask or stick some sort of injection in his arm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they had a sort of form of vaccine passport, but you know, it wasn't quite as
That's only for certain folks.
Yeah, the only ones who had to get that thing stuck in their arm, they weren't coming back anyway. So
Well, we started off strong this morning.
That we did. It's a Monday.
There's an interesting story unfolding in Tampa here this morning. I didn't pull up a news article. I don't know what'll be available yet, but I guess last night some dude tried to set fire to a nightclub in Ybor City in Tampa. Obviously, he's just a crazy person because he was like ineffective at all his shit he tried to do. But he tried to set a nightclub on fire by setting the air conditioner on fire. And then he drove to Lakeland and started throwing Molotov cocktails at a house. And I guess allegedly the deputies responded within a minute, and there was this big high-speed chase on I-4. One of the deputies tried to pit maneuver him, and the deputy broke his wrist. He tried to pit maneuver him so hard, I didn't realize that was a possibility. But they ended up pushing him off the road. He ran out of the car with an AR-15 and a pistol.
holy crap!
They ended up taking him down. Like, this guy was going full Grand Theft Auto, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dad, love you.
So that's Florida this morning.
Yeah. Just your typical Florida man.
Yep.
A Florida story.
That is some like very Florida man shit right there. Was it at least a gay nightclub that he was throwing Molotov cocktails at, or what was going on here? And did it at least fit into the motif of everything else that's been going on this weekend?
You know, I don't know if they mentioned what club it was in Ybor when I saw this morning, but that would be curious. I think they said there was a concert going on.
Probably couldn't get tickets. It was probably Taylor Swift or something. He was mad at Ticketmaster.
Oh,
they
dude, like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did they get him alive? I missed this. Did they get him alive, or they had to kill him?
Let's see. I don't think. I guess there was a fire on Saturday. Oh, this is 2019 at a gay Ybor bathhouse. That was 2019. Okay, here we go. Morty, stop it. All right, let's see. The Ritz in Ybor. Yeah, the Ritz in Ybor, which I think they do concerts and stuff. Guy's name was, he went on a this morning, first trying to start fires around Ybor City. The sheriff, and that's my wonderful sheriff, Judd, said Neely did manage to, they're the ones who took him down eventually, of course. Sheriff said Neely did manage to ignite the AC unit behind the Ritz. I shudder when I think that it's reported to me that there were 1,000 people inside when he obviously tried to set that place on fire. From there, investigators say Neely went to North Lakeland and threw 7 Molotov cocktails at the home where a woman he's known since high school lives with her parents. Oh, man.
There it
Pissed at
is.
her. Yeah, jilted.
There's
I was
the
wondering if it
motive.
was random. Yeah. 2 of them exploded on the house, and the others apparently rolled down and were ignited in the yard. Sheriff says the deputy got to the house while the attack was still going on, led to his chase, eventually crashed his truck on I-4 near Dino World, which is a bunch of big fake dinosaurs. Part of me wants to go there tripping on mushrooms, but I know it's just going to be like a bunch of like small children and autistic teenagers. And I'm like, nah, that's not a good place to be that kind of high. Anyhow, Sheriff says he was carrying 2 guns, including an AR-15 with 57 rounds. That's where they shot him at least 3 times.
I am now expecting to hear sirens in the background of Justin's screen.
Hospitalized. They're recovering from the gunshot wounds, but the sheriff says they are non-life-threatening injuries. So, neat. Massive backup of traffic on I-4. Nothing new there, though. That happens even when there's not a high-speed chase. So,
Doug's like, even if somebody doesn't get shot, there's still going to be a lot of traffic out there.
Steven, I'm not going to share your most recent comment because I'm not sure if you're referring to. It's like next time I'm down there, Dag. Let's. I don't think that's what he's talking about. Joining this guy and raids and whatnot.
on Dino World? God. No, not Dino World. It never hurt nobody. Oh shoot!
Do shrooms and go to Dino World. That's what Steven's down for.
Oh, hey, what's up, Joey?
Shoot.
So the thing in what was that, Colorado?
Yeah.
Was that like a gay targeted thing? Because I thought like the Pulse thing was just like random, but it happened to be at a gay thing. I thought that was like the story there, but I don't know.
The Pulse thing was targeted, but not because it was a gay thing. It was targeted for other reasons.
Okay.
The guy who was like cellmates with the guy who did it, he had done an episode on like finding freedom and talked about it to the extent that he was legally permitted to talk about it, because there was still some shit going on with it. Anyway, as soon as that guy got released from prison, he got stabbed to death like within a couple weeks of being released from prison and getting to go back home. So nothing suspicious about that whatsoever, you know. But this one, I don't know. They're trying to play it up like it's a targeted thing, but this dude has also had previously threatened his mother with guns or with a bomb and weapons. He was, of course, as always, he was known to the FBI and to local police. He's been, on their radar, and I think they've even had him in custody for questioning in the last 6 to 10 months, as is always the case. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the same old shit with this. There was some interesting stuff going around Twitter. I don't know if y'all saw it about how almost a very similar type of a shooting occurred at the University of Virginia, but it's gotten exactly zero coverage because it was a black guy who exclusively targeted white people. So,
You watch football over the weekend. That's the only place you would see coverage of it, because they basically had to. Because
Right.
Virginia had to cancel their football game.
Right.
Cool.
Cool. Other than that, anything else in the news today or over the weekend?
Gosh, I don't know. I didn't pay much attention.
There were several. We had some different articles in the Twitter group chat that Mark doesn't check anymore. I did want to talk about this week's fantasy football
I
unfolding.
don't want to talk about it.
Turned out to be an interesting weekend.
Travis Kelce gets his third touchdown. I go, "Ooh, boy, I eked that one out, didn't I?" And then I check the score, and I have lost by whatever points. So, I'm out.
I think you lost by like 0.4 points.
Anything else in that league happen other than my just demise?
Unless DeAndre Hopkins has a banger night tonight, I'm gonna pull an upset on Goon. So that'll be fun. I was really hoping you were gonna beat Stephanie, and then that would put us in a 4-way tie between me, Stephanie, Jim, and Nutter for first place in our division at 5-6. No winning record there would be no winning records in our division, and we would all be tied for first. But you couldn't pull it off.
I'm
Let
sorry.
me down, and now my wife goes to 6-5 and holds sole possession of first place in our division. So
It helps me that you beat Goon, though. So thank you. I appreciate it.
She's getting that monkey trophy after all.
is she? Yeah.
Unless something terrible happens tonight, I think I'll be looking at my third win
Look at that.
consecutively. Yeah, but it's following up like 8 consecutive losses, so it's not really much.
Hey, in our division, you're still in striking distance of making the playoffs. So
All right.
if you win out and all the rest of us continue to sputter like we have all season, you have as good a chance of making the playoffs as the rest of us. So.
If Dag wins this whole thing, no offense, Dag. If you win this whole thing,
take
then
that would be
doing this again.
ridiculous and hilarious.
Well, he finally benched Tom Brady and put Justin Fields in the starting lineup at
Fields
just
is
the
killing
right
it, man. Yeah.
at just the right time. Yeah.
Yeah, those rushing yards, rushing
Captured.
touchdowns.
Captured lightning in a bottle there.
Yep. So worked out. All right. there's football out of the way. So herpes and carp.
Herpes and carp.
What?
I don't know anything about this.
Clyde's been posting tons of news actually. I haven't logged on to this Twitter and this computer yet, but in our other chat, there's okay. You got Signal on your computer? Hold on, I'm putting it in the thing.
Okay, great. While you're doing that,
there you go.
we did. Speaking of Twitter, while you're doing that, we did find out over the weekend that Twitter has better elections than our current system in the U.S. Although the bots really tried to steal that election from Trump.
Oh, there was something like they did like a poll, but without bots or something.
Elon Musk put out a poll whether he should reinstate Trump's account or not, and it ended 51-48 or 52-48, whatever it was. But it was a pretty substantial lead for Trump at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of bots came in and voted no, but they weren't able to. They still weren't able to steal it this time.
On like the other 98% and my other fun like lefty Facebook pages, I keep seeing things about like, oh, I'm just here to see fucking Twitter just sink into the water and this and that, and look at the dumpster fire over there. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, as a casual Twitter user, I haven't seen, like, nothing has happened that I'm like, oh man, look, it's just falling apart. Like, it works. It almost seems better, like the content. Like, so I mean, I don't know. Like, it's so
I'm definitely seeing fewer ads, especially, and like at least the targeted ads actually seem to make a little bit of sense. I'm not getting the completely random dumb ads as much. I'm not seeing as much content from people that I don't want to see content from, like the promoted tweets and stuff. I'm not seeing that stuff nearly as frequently. It's mostly my feed has now become, I'd say like a solid 85 to 90% what I actually want to see, and not a whole lot of extra bullshit that I'm just like, no.
I wouldn't know this because I was fortunately never saw it before, but apparently kitty porn is being removed too. I don't know if you guys heard this.
I don't know. Never, it wasn't really something I saw.
That's what I'm saying is like I just saw someone tweet about it, and then it kind of makes you a little curious as to how they know this. But
yeah, I see people say that there's always been so much like objectable porn on these sites, but I don't know. I've never. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's not
pop up on my
Twitter
feed, man. I don't know what they're talking about.
So the only thing I really do know about it is a chick who was fired that was one of the like content managers or whatever that was responsible for removing stuff and banning accounts and stuff like that. She was one of them that had denied requests from victims of child pornography to have their content taken down. Like they had like children and their parents or families who like their stuff was on Twitter had begged Twitter to take that stuff down, and this woman, along with the rest of their like content management team, had denied doing that and wouldn't take that stuff down, even though the victims were requesting it. And she got fired, and so there are. It sounds like there are some steps being taken to remedy some of those problems that Twitter has had.
It's just like it's one thing to be like, okay, yeah, we have this massive platform and like it's there's tons of content and it's possible to monitor it all, blah blah blah. But when like you have someone being like, oh hey, this is like like my daughter's leaked shit or something, like it's like, okay, yeah, shouldn't be an issue. Let's just take that right down, So because I mean even like legal age people isn't like revenge porn kind of shit, isn't that like fucking illegal?
Supposedly.
You think that anything someone's like, hey, that's me naked and I don't want it there, take it down, they would.
Well, speaking of porn.
Oh, that's hot. Damn, look at the lips on that bit.
Does that do anything for you?
Dim the lights a little. A few beers in me. You know.
Gives me the urge to do a little noodling.
Yeah, I've been living in the woods for 17 months after the plane crash. At this point, I mean, you know, take a risk.
There it is. Researchers considering releasing herpes into waterways to reduce carp populations. Come on.
Clyde said that he was volunteering for the job of releasing the herpes. I see why now after seeing that picture. So I see what he was talking about.
Oh God! How does that work exactly? Does herpes like kill carp or something?
This is in Australia. Released their National Carp Control Plan, which assesses the feasibility of using cyprinid herpes virus 3, also known as the carp virus or koi herpes virus, KHV, as a biological agent to control carp populations. It damages the kidneys, skin, and gills of the carp. It is distinct from the sexually transmitted herpes diseases that impact humans, and they claim it cannot infect people. So
this is all going to go so bad.
I wonder how much testing they've done on that.
Yeah, right.
They can make up to 90% of the total fish in a population, so they're probably kind of like a problem. You know, I mean, carp is no. I'm thinking of perch. Tilapia is perch, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't think carp. I don't think carp is. I don't think carp is one of those things you want to eat. But I mean, I feel like there's a better solution to removing the carp population than releasing a virus into the waterways. I don't know. Maybe, like, you know, if they would let people have their guns back, you could let people go out there and just start shooting them.
We've got the solutions, people.
If there, if this was a problem in the U.S., you would have every redneck in the South just out there lining the banks of the waterways shooting carp. I mean, this would not be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could trap them and like use them for animal feed or something. You know, if nothing else, like you could have like a use for this. It's just, you know, and I think we've talked about this before with like the mosquitoes and the like they're, you know, the GMO mosquitoes or something. It's like, first, you never really know what the effects are going to be until you like release something like that. And then with something like the mosquitoes, like, okay, so I don't know if these carp are invasive or whatever, but like, let's take the mosquitoes. You know, that's a big part of like the food chain and like an ecosystem. Like, yeah, they suck and they're annoying and they can spread disease and blah, blah, blah. But maybe nature has them there for a reason. So I don't know. Toying with shit like that always just kind of, you never really know what you're getting into, I feel like.
Right. It's like blocking out the sun. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
For years, man has dreamed of blocking out the sun. I finally made it a reality.
Well, so if the carp there or anything like carp here, they are invasive and they are pretty aggressive. So I mean, and if they are breeding like that, then something needs to be done about them. But like, you know, what we do is you just catch the carp and then you smash their head and throw them in the woods. Like you just you help nature solve that problem.
Are they good fertilizer?
Yeah, I mean, fish meal is a huge fertilizer industry.
Yeah,
lots of fish fertilizer out there. You know, so instead of just
fertilize the soil.
No, man, let's release herpes into the oceans and waterways to kill the carp, and then let's go fish the oceans to pull a bunch of sea life out to mash up and use as fertilizer. That sounds like the solution. Creates the most jobs that way.
It's a beautiful upside down world.
Government solutions at their finest.
Yeah. In fairness, I'm sure that a lot of the fish fertilizer is just byproducts, but it's not as funny that way. But I mean, they are using byproducts from fish, you know, probably food sources.
Bet you the Aussie women spread more disease than the fish. Well, if they're forced to get that little shot, then this is definitely true.
Are Australian chicks hot? I feel like they're touted as. Sorry. You go ahead, Justin.
I think they are touted as hot. You're right.
But I feel like it's like 1 in 1,000 maybe are hot.
Okay.
I think the ones who are allowed to leave and like come to the States, those are the hot ones. The ones that aren't allowed to leave the island, those are the not hot ones. So there's probably a higher percentage of not than there is of
Well, they
hot.
tried to find their hottest ones to make a part of their concentration camp calendar. Remember that?
That wasn't terrible.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Look at all these hot women at these camps. Don't
Could you
tell
tell
me
under
you
the
don't want to
masks?
be here.
All the hot unvaxxed chicks at the camps. Like, isn't it kind of telling that the calendar that they were putting together or whatever to promote these like unvaccinated camps where they were going to send you to try to make it seem like a good thing that they're putting you in a camp because you refuse to get a shot. Like, all of those chicks are hot. I guarantee you the ones who were getting the vax were not at all even remotely hot. Like, they probably a bunch of 2s and 3s.
Freshen your drink, governor.
Probably the kinds that show up at an abortion protest and take their shirt off within 5 seconds of it beginning.
Oh. This gives
Felt like it'd be an easy place to meet loose women.
that's a little. I mean, that's a little too loose. That's like,
Steven, are you saying you don't like the Australian accent? Because I do, unless it's the New Zealand lady. Like, I dig the accent.
Well, it's like British that there's like the many different accents within, you know, there's the classy one and the trashy one and this and that. So I'm sure in Australian there's some cool ones and some really, really awful ones too.
with English, I do kind of like the trashy one though. Like that's a.
I kind of prefer the
that
trashy
accent.
one, but I kind of prefer trashy English, you know, like American accents too. So you know.
I forgot how much I liked the Southern accent until I went down to Mississippi with Justin. Not because I was with Justin, but some of those Mississippi women, man.
It was that whole 6-hour drive of listening to me talk like this. Mark just
Really just
Mark-
beat it into me. That was like, oh. Then I
Mark
had to
realized how much he really loves a good Southern accent.
I realized that I probably should have phrased that a lot better. Could have just left Justin out of it.
Oh man, when I was in high school, I went to a big like national conference thing, and there was some chick from Georgia, and she went to like one of those Georgia refining schools, and she talked with that real proper Southern accent.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I could just like record her and listen to her talk forever.
He pulls
I don't
out his
even-
phone. I'm just recording you. Don't mind
Like,
me.
yeah, just keep talking. Don't pay attention. I don't even need the person. I just need the voice.
It's not often that you tell the woman to keep talking either. So
My wife's family is from Wisconsin. They've got a real Wisconsin accent, you know.
yeah, they do.
And I was up there. And one of them was like, "Oh man, the Southern accent just sounds so like dumb and uneducated." And I was like, "You sound like a retarded Canadian. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?" Jeez. Oh fuck. But I've heard a lot of people say that it's like, oh, Southern accent just sounds so dumb and uneducated. It's like, yeah, but there's so many like smart, like, you know, like the whole Southern lawyer kind of thing. Like there is the more like proper, you know, intelligent sounding Southern accent too, you know. But then the dumb sounding Southern accent just sounds like somebody you don't really want to fight behind a bar, you know. Come on, man, we gonna get him. You know, like, you know, that's just
So
you know.
I might sound dumb, but if you listen to the words that are actually coming out of my mouth and not the inflection of the words coming out of my mouth, then you find out that I'm actually relatively smart.
I love like the Doc Holliday, you know, in Tombstone, kind of like Southern dandy, kind of like accent. I can't pull it off, but I really like that. He's like
Go
super
ahead.
educated and shit,
give
you know.
it
and
give it a shot for us.
I'm gonna have to take a window seat because this flower is a Wilton. How's that? No, okay,
Boy.
not good.
No, that works.
Well, I do declare, boy.
Oh yeah, get some foghorn leghorn going. Hell yeah. Boy's about as sharp as a bag of wet mice. I really want to get like the Southern sayings and shit. I just can't. I don't have the memory for them. You know, like I can do like movie quotes and like Simpsons lines, like on point and when they're needed. But I just can't pull those Southern like soliloquies out of my ass. That boy's about as weird as snake suspenders. You know, like I just can't do it when it's called on.
That's fair. It's a learned skill to have, I assume.
Takes a lot of time and practice.
Yeah. You brought up the Southern lawyer. Is there a discernible difference between the Southern lawyer dialect and the Southern car salesman, or are they pretty much the same?
Slower speech with the Southern lawyer. Think Matlock. Think more of a drawl. Think more molassesy. You know.
There's that
Whereas,
molasses.
yeah, I think the Southern car salesman is the faster. You know, and I definitely can't do that.
We don't speak Spanish on this show, Carlos.
Odele.
Maybe Dag does.
¿Dónde está la fiesta?
I saw something. This is quite the turn we're making here, but I saw this. Is this true? Fact check, Justin. Speaking of Canada, they want to force anyone that's not willing to get the jab to be on mental drugs.
I remember seeing articles about it, but I don't know if it ever came to fruition.
I'd say I don't think it's made it too far
I'm not-
forward, but I know it's something that's been talked about.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that it would be true. Bless you.
Here it comes. Bless you. Oh, man, he had the good sense to mute. It's hard to do while you're driving. Impressive.
Oh, I knew that one was about to be bad. It was either muted or just like pull the headphones off and throw them. I didn't think that was going to be a good alternative. So
I'm talking just about their dialectic, their dialect. Joey Two Guns. Yes.
Yeah, I like a good Southern like doctor or lawyer. You know, the real smart Southern people. Yeah, something about that's impressive.
as far as the Canada thing, I do know that they're really pushing the assisted suicide stuff. That's become really big. But we've
It's a
talked
big
about
thing
that
for them.
Yeah, we've talked about that over the last couple of weeks. That's, yeah. I don't even know where else to go with that. Like, you know, we're not going to pay for your health care, but we'll pay to have you help you kill yourself. So, you know,
It's like,
Don't
please,
worry about
please do
getting-
it.
don't worry about getting better. We're going to end all of your suffering forever.
These whole alternative meat things getting popular at the same time. If Soylent Green happens, like, I'm telling you guys, it's every dystopian fear. It's not like which one's going to happen. All of them are going to happen. Every like sci-fi movie from like the 70s is going to come true. This is getting crazy.
Apparently, someone took one of those stupid meta things, one of the games in them, and he engineered it so that if you die in a game that you're playing, then that thing will blow up in your face and kill you too. Have you guys heard about this?
Heard about this? You seen this?
Lawnmower Man comes to real life. Let's see.
Oh, is that what that
V for
movie's
Vendetta.
about? I've never seen it.
Apparently. Tell us about Lawnmower Man.
Well, no spoilers
haven't-
though.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in over 20 years. I can't remember it that vividly. It was a interesting movie, but not one that like really stuck in my brain. Although
That
I
was-
mean,
That was the one that what's his name? The Waco guy. Gosh, why can't I think of his name? The Waco guy was like into, or like, oh, you got to watch Lawnmower Man.
David Koresh.
Like,
Yeah, David Koresh. he was talking about it in that docuseries thing, the Waco one, a couple years ago.
interesting.
It made me want to watch it, but I haven't.
Well, maybe I need to go back and rewatch it and get refreshed.
Yeah, see what old Koresh was on too.
People talk about Brave New World in 1984. No, we're living in Lawnmower Man.
That's right. Although, if you go back and you look at the plot line for V for Vendetta, like we really kind of saw that play out. We really saw that play out over 2020 and 2021.
Yep. False flags via diseases.
Medical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lo
Yeah.
and behold, they roll out this miracle cure. Although
Some
that
miracle
hasn't-
cure it is.
Although that hasn't worked out exactly like V for Vendetta, but you know, that's what they were shooting for.
V for
One of
Vendetta
these
really
days-
did it, like hit it pretty close for a movie, you know, especially like a DC movie, you know, like I mean, like back then I liked it and it was really good, and it's getting better with age, I think.
It has aged really well.
Yeah. It's great.
I think the pandemic movie with Brad Pitt in the pandemic movie that was like 10 years ago.
Oh, there's been a few of them. I probably
That one
seen it.
also. The ending of that one is also like everyone needs to get on a V word. To
Oh,
save
World
them.
War Z.
World War Z. Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so World War Z, like the zombies are attacking everybody, and then they figure out that the zombies aren't attacking people who are like sick; they're only attacking healthy people. So then they come up with this like miracle cure for everybody, where basically everybody gets injected with this thing that makes it seem like everybody's sick, and then the zombies stop trying to eat everybody.
Oh, 12 Monkeys. That's pretty good.
12 Monkeys was. Did you see the FX series?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so FX did a series, a 12 Monkeys series that I think it ran two seasons, maybe 3. I've only watched like I've watched the first season. I haven't watched past that just because I got distracted with other stuff, but it was really good. Like it takes the premise of 12 Monkeys and kind of expands on that whole universe and the time travel thing and everything else. And it's like it builds on the things that are happening in the past, which would be our present, but it also builds on like what's happening in the future and where the world has ended up since the events of our present, and how they're traveling back and forth to try to fix things alters things there, and it's really interesting.
It's gay evolution stuff.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. You think like, are you saying that like calling evolution gay, or are you saying like gay evolution?
Both.
Okay. I don't know where the comma is supposed to be there. Or a hyphen. I don't know. I'm not good at grammar.
It does do a interesting job of approaching time travel from the like the grandfather paradox. Like, if you go back and kill your grandfather, then you will have never existed to be able to go back and kill your grandfather. So you can't actually go back.
If you have sex with your grandmother.
Well, okay.
But then you become your own grandfather, and that's a whole nother thing.
That's awkward when that happens.
She doesn't know it's you yet.
That's the Futurama paradox.
Yeah. The past nastification. Oh, fuck.
What was the Netflix show? No, it's all right. What was the Netflix show that got canceled for being a little too close to COVID?
Oh, it was Amazon Prime. It was Utopia.
I think I saw a preview for this.
Yeah, go find Utopia on Amazon Prime before they take it down. It went one season and they canceled it immediately because it came out in like April of 2020 as everything unfolds, and then people are watching it like, holy shit.
But that's crazy, because like it would have had to have been shot like a year before or something, right? You know?
Right.
Wow.
It's almost like they're in the room next to Event 201 or like getting ideas.
They've got like inboxes on a desk, like old school style, where people put paper files and they accidentally put the movie file in like the actual psyop file, and they got them mixed up.
Somebody standing next to the wall with like a plastic cup held up to it, like, oh, listen to this. This is what they're talking about next. Yeah, write this down.
And then mass protests over racial justice in the summer? Huh. We'll throw that in there too. That's a good mix.
It's what do they call it? A side story. No, it's just a side story to complement the main story.
That's right.
This
Are
is
we part of the story, Grandpa?
Kyrie's doc, I think, is what Magoo is referring to here.
What does he say?
I gotta watch that Hebrew to Negro doc first.
Did you guys watch Ari's stand-up yet? His new stand-up special?
I did not.
No. Ari should.
Is that on
it's on YouTube. It's good. It's pretty funny.
It's dag with the Jewish propaganda.
It's a lot of him because like he was raised like not Hasidic, what's it called? The other one's like
Ashkenazi.
No, like the where like they actually go to church and this and that, and like he does, Sabbath, like can't turn on a light switch on Saturday. They're hardcore, but not that hardcore. Anyhow, he went to the Judaism school in like Jerusalem or whatever when they do all that when he was younger, and came out of it as like an atheist, but a lot of it is like a lot of the really funny things from like the real hardcore like Jewish law, like the big thing you'll hear. It's not really a big spoilers. He talks about this on the podcast, but like the ratio of like if a goy comes to your Jewish party and throws ham in the soup, like the amount of ham that has to be in the soup for you to discard the soup versus the acceptable amount of ham that's allowed to be like you're allowed to eat the soup. And it's 1/60th, by the way, is the ratio. So, but it's a lot of just the really, crazy, like old school, like religious, like rules for crazy situations that are written in like I don't know what books. Orthodox. Yes. Orthodox. Thank you. That's the fucking word. Orthodox Jewish. Yes. So it's just a lot of the real funny stuff that non-Jews don't know about Orthodox Judaism.
Isn't it really funny how many Jews are actually atheists? Like they're Jewish, but they're not religious Jews. They're just ethnic Jews. And they are not religious at all. They're atheists. That's God's chosen people, supposedly.
Technically, I'm ethnically Catholic, and I'm not Catholic, so
Carlos
I'm not quite
is
atheist, but basically. So.
Carlos is asking if we've checked out his Jew episode. I have not yet. Carlos, maybe Justin has.
Yeah, I need to go back and I watched it when I was doing the editing for it, but I need to go back and actually do like a taking notes type of watching. See, I have two very distinctly different types of watching an episode. I have the watching it for the purpose of putting out a good episode, and I have the watching it for the purpose of actually like listening to what's going on the episode. And I need to go back and do the second one on that one.
This is a real derailing here, but I just went on Amazon Prime to see if that show was on there. Is Kingdom of Heaven any good? I never watched it.
With Orlando Bloom?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was recommended for me, which makes sense, but it's like, maybe I'll check that out. Anyways, we'll go back to the show.
Hey, Justin, I know you're driving. You can't see the screen that well. Doesn't Mark look like a French sailor person? French sailor man with his black and white stripes and his beanie hat and his rough sailor's beard?
Is that the look he's going for today?
That is what I'm going for today.
That's what I'm seeing.
French
I decided
fisherman.
to go both. I wasn't sure if I should make fun of him for it before or after we started recording.
So he did both.
Yeah, I did both.
And then I complimented this nice chops coming in.
Yeah, I know he's being nice to me, and I'm just being a dick to him.
That's all right. That's a redhead.
Steven sees it. He should be playing an accordion, smoking a cigarette. Yeah.
And Trey comes in with the Where's Waldo.
Well, it's Where's Waldo if Justin's looking at the book. Because it's Waldo's in red and white, not black and white. So
He qualified.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You're French Canadian? That's cool. We can
No
be
French-
brothers, eh? I've got this guy I'm trying to get on the Nexus to talk about the Acadians. He did an article recently about Acadians in Canada, and I talk about them all the time, and I don't know much about them, but I'm like a quarter Acadian. But I'm having a hard time getting them pinned down, so I might just go read a book and do the episode my damn self.
Yeah, read a book.
Yeah. All I know is like Wikipedia depth, so I can do better.
Yeah, you know those are 100% accurate though. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So then
the early history sections are usually accurate.
Yeah, I mean it's something that I'm sure people check, But then again, what is mainstream history anyhow? Like most of that's bullshit. It's my problem with like when there's like an event or something that I want to like read about or learn about. It's like, well, which fucking history book? Which book do I get about it? You know what I mean? Because you could get one that's some like super mainstream and whitewashed version one way or the other. So obviously there's some authors and historians that I like, but they only write about so many subjects. So
Well, that's like anytime you're looking into like news articles and stuff that's happening in the world, and you go to share like articles about it and tell people, hey, look, this is what's actually going on, and they're like, well, that's not from CNN or NBC, so I'm not going to believe that. I'm like, that's the problem. You shouldn't be believing CNN and NBC. Like the truth is somewhere. It may not be exactly in the thing that I'm posting, but it's definitely not in the thing that you're looking to either. Like there's the truth is somewhere in the middle, and need to be exploring all of the different sources that are out there for it and figure out what it is. And, like,
are you coming out as a moderate, Justin?
no, I don't think I'm very moderate on many things, but
finding the news,
yeah,
moderating through the news.
On finding the news, you need to figure out where the truth actually lies, and it's probably not anywhere near where the mainstream is trying to plant it.
No, I get what you're saying.
But you can always like take a feel from the vibe of their articles, though, or their stories. Right. And you can a lot of times, like, okay, they didn't say this, but it's what they're not saying. You kind of get a feel for what's probably actually, just like reading a fucking advertisement for something, you know, get this and that for free. And if you're over the age of 10 and you've been ripped off once or twice, you go, okay, well, that's probably with the purchase of this, or probably with a monthly subscription to that. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to say it. You kind of know what's going on.
Well, that's like
books, I read several books.
Gosh. Oh, I was gonna pull up the CBS News tweet where at first they're like, we're getting off of Twitter now because Elon Musk, racist, fascist, blah blah blah, all this gay stuff, and then a few moments later, we reevaluated and we're back on Twitter. But they deleted the reevaluated and we're back tweet, which is unfortunate.
Well, speaking of gay shit, did you see where in Qatar they're not gonna be allowing the British soccer players to wear those oh shit, what did I do?
You decided to go in solidarity with Black Lives Matter a few years too late, but that's fine.
Accidentally pushed a button. Anyway, they allowed they're not going to allow the British soccer players and some dude to wear this like gay armband, like actually a gay armband, like a. It's like
so does that mean the U.S. uniforms weren't real?
I don't know if they were ever wearing those. I think they were just a promotional thing.
Joke,
I think it was a promotional thing to be like, yes, we're showing solidarity with our gay brethren or whatever, but they weren't actually, because I'm pretty sure it was announced like before the World Cup ever started that you're not going to be allowed to do any of that shit. Like, so go ahead and leave it at home. Don't even think about it because it's not permitted here. So I think those U.S. jerseys were just for show. They were never actually going to be worn on the field.
I wondered because it's like, that really put a bad taste in my mouth if they would wear those for many reasons. But
Sully, the good name of soccer.
Yeah,
as if it's not gay enough already.
Come on, it's soccer.
It's really interesting to see. Like, it seems like the left has really done a reversal back to sort of their original stance on things, like so they're banning like the sale of beer or alcohol at the World Cup. And just like 15 years ago, they were like, oh, this is their culture because everything, they had to stick up for the Muslims and everything. And now it's back to these Muslims. We're going to be back to drinking beer in the soccer stadium because they're a little too conservative for them now. You know what I mean? Like, it went from like Islam is too conservative to, well, George Bush is bombing them, therefore we should respect their culture, when obviously they're not really respecting their culture. But now back to the original stance.
Right. We should have been more open border, and we should have been more pro-immigration. Bring all of the Islamic immigrants and drop them in these big cities, these big super progressive cities, and just let them take over. Be no more gays, no more alcohol, no more anything. They just let them have their way with it, and then see how much the left loves immigrants.
There's a good book about
The good book.
the good book, yeah, about a Muslim guy becoming the prime minister of France because the left didn't want the more right wing candidate to get it, and then the Muslim prime minister ends up being a lot more strict and conservative. It's what is that called? I can't remember what it's called. Michel Houellebecq's book. Who's like a right wing novelist in France who wrote this.
I say it's fiction.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if that actually happened, though. That's who they need to replace.
It would be fun
That's
to
who
watch.
That's who they need to replace Macron with, whoever that guy is.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, oh yeah, that's a nice segue into Macron. Saying we need a new world order. I'll see if I can pull that up. You were gonna say something, Dag.
Yeah, totally silly, but a few moments ago when you were like a few moments later, was that like a SpongeBob?
That was a
Cutscene.
SpongeBob reference. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing because you didn't do it in the right accent, but that's supposed to be a French sailor accent. A few moments later, you know, all the,
I can't do it.
all the cutscenes in that. It's that French sailor accent. So I was like, man, you just hitting them.
Just really playing the role today.
Yeah, man. Almost like you're fucking with me.
And then I'm talking about French prime ministers. Jeez.
Oh shit.
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
Mark in particular is on a roll.
I didn't get much sleep. So when I don't get sleep, it's just whatever comes to mind first.
Stayed up staring at the scoreboard, just hoping that there would be like a correction made somewhere.
Yeah,
you'd get that half a point.
It didn't happen.
It's a shame. Usually the corrections are made on Tuesday, so you still got a chance. But
the French aren't as bad as everybody makes them out to be. French government kind of sucks.
There are some good Frenchmen.
And a lot of really awesome French people left France at one point. So you know, they were like, "Fuck this shit," and they went. They were badasses elsewhere. So,
well, the yellow vest. I don't want to call them riots, but like the yellow vest protests and stuff that have been going on for the last few years. Those have been France has been pretty based as far as that stuff goes.
Yeah.
I think for anybody that's been like following that, that's been a interesting story to keep track of.
Well, keeping up with our theme here on the morning after and playing clips that require subtitles. Here we go.
Are you on the US and the Chinese?
Oh no, never mind.
Because now, progressively, a lot of people would like to see there are two orders in this world. This is a huge mistake, even for both the US and China. We need a single global order. Are you on the...
Well, there you go. Need a single global order. Then he got slapped afterwards. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I love watching
Smith?
politicians get slapped on stage.
yeah, or shoes thrown at him. That's pretty cool too.
That is really cool. You know, for everything that we talk about with that, and for as terrible as George Bush was, that was he had some pretty deft moves on that. Like, to see the shoe coming at him and to just duck it and then pop back up and kind of grin and be like, what? And then duck the next one too. Is like he took the whole thing in stride. He was kind of like laughing about it. It was really hilarious and funny. Like that whole exchange was great, like all the way around. And for as much as we may want to hate on Bush, like that was a pretty impressive move on his part.
Yeah, Bush is just because those kind of seem like one of the guys. You know what I mean? Like, I said it before and I'll say it again. Cheney was the president there. You know? What was Stephen holy shitting me about? I don't know. I said anything that terrible. Well, yeah, okay. I said some terrible things this morning, but not at that time.
I muted myself. Sorry.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Anything else?
I don't know. What was this thing that Clyde sent about the votes being tallied before they were finished or something?
Oh, did you see that? Did y'all look at that?
County officials
So
mistakenly
somebody-
declared winner council race before all votes counted.
Yeah, so somebody, this chick won her city council race, and then
There you go.
they had announced the winner, and she like came out and gave her like her victory speech and all that, and then they just happened to find a flash drive that had all these votes that didn't get counted. So then they go. I don't understand how
Why are the votes on a flash drive?
how are you just finding votes on a flash drive? I don't.
This doesn't even make any
Right?
sense.
Like what? This as if there was even somebody quoted in the article. They're like, as if people didn't have any faith in this system to begin with. Now we're definitely ensuring that nobody's going to have faith in this system. Like, you just magically find votes on a flash drive and change the outcome of an announced election. Like, that's what?
What if they keep
there's
the
no
flash
way
drive-
Herschel Walker is winning this runoff.
No.
Or they keep the flash drive in like a little fire extinguisher case, like it break glass, like in case of like
In case of-
in case of Republican win, break glass.
Break glass.
Flash drive in it. Oh fuck!
The memory card contains 789 uncounted ballots.
I don't. That's
So-
that's a suspicious number too. That's somebody typing 3 numbers onto a keyboard.
This. I hope this justifies Trump as well. Maybe when he called Kemp, it's like, I just need you to find me 3,000 votes. Like literally, those 3,000 votes are probably on a flash drive somewhere.
Yeah, you dropped them. Maybe they fell between the seats in the Uber. I don't know.
They're somewhere hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of my favorite ways to when they for somebody they do this both for trying nefarious or not nefarious purposes, but if you're trying to infect a business or a building or something with a virus, like computer virus, you put it on thumb drives with pictures or something on them, and you scatter them around the parking lot of the business, and the dumbass employees pick them up on their way in and go, I wonder what's on this, and they plug them into their computer in the building, and it infects computers. It's actually relatively common. So if you ever find a random thumb drive, for the love of God, don't plug it in your computer. Don't be that stupid.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'd do that. Hopefully not, anyways. Oh, what's this?
You get them at sometimes whatever trade shows or something. People are giving out free swag, pens and shit. They give away free thumb drives. Don't plug those in your personal computer either.
Justin, you were going to say something?
I don't remember.
Sorry.
I'm just enjoying my drive this morning. Like it's kind of.
Is it a
it's kind
nice,
of
beautiful morning in Indiana?
It's about 35 degrees, sunshine, no real wind, no clouds. It's just kind of a nice, calm day.
Well, after snowing for 3 straight days in the great state of Michigan, it finally have clear skies and the sun is out as well. So I will enjoy my morning too.
Cool. I do like a nice, sunny, cold day. You know what I mean? Because it's not miserable. If you're out doing stuff, you're fine, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you guys, but for as cold as it gets here, it's fine. But it's nice.
I was trying to be all positive about our weather here, and Steven's like, I hate it. I'm out of here.
It's a good day. It's a good day for a run. Not that I do that.
It is.
But,
Oh, you're talking about down there. It is here.
Well, I mean, no, up there too. I'm sure. You don't want to run when it's hot out. That sounds awful.
Yeah, I do that, but it is awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday was cold and rainy here, but it's always kind of nice because it's an excuse to not work outside. So it was good for a Sunday. Spent some time with the wife, watched some movies. Oh, we watched True Lies the other night. Speaking of older movies that I definitely should have seen by now. You guys seen that with
Yes.
Schwarzenegger and
I'm sorry. who?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
yeah. So don't make fun of me because I can't talk right. Don't point that out that I can't pronounce that name without sounding racist. Just because my name's German doesn't
I
mean
wasn't
can say
making
names like
fun. I
that.
just wanted you to repeat it.
After I said it, I was like, I don't think that came out right.
No.
But anyhow, if you want to talk about an absolutely ridiculous 90s action movie, that is one to see for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
True Lies is incredible. It's,
Yeah. Some of the plot and stunts are definitely retarded.
yeah.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.